So hello, this is Margaret Arney. I'm coming from the Fabric Barn in Rosebud, Texas with our lesson number 6 for our block of the month 2023-24. And we are very hot here. I guess everywhere else in the world is hot too, it sounds like. So we're going to take a short break while I move to the table to show you what collection you need to pick from today, and then we'll get busy. So give me a minute. Okay, so we're back, and this is what you're going to need to select today. You are going to need your squares, your light squares, your medium light squares, and your dark rectangles. And you will be selecting 48 of those because you'll be making 48 of these little blocks. So you will need those, and be sure you select just a variety. Don't try to pick all one color or all one pattern on them. Make sure they're different. Then you're going to have to make a Ziploc bag that says Block E. That's Block E. And this will be where you're going to place your finished blocks for today. So let's stop. Well, let's go ahead and let me run through the 2 of the ways of sewing the corners on. It's sort of a repeat, and all of this is really going to be like a repeat, but it doesn't hurt to go over them again. So you're going to take a square and a rectangle, and you're going to, your square, you can either draw with a friction pen right down the middle of from corner to corner, draw a line, and that would be your line. Or you can fold it, place it right side down and fold it so you have a triangle, and press it. If I do it this way, I use my iron to press it. I don't try to iron it with my fingers because it stretches it. So I iron it with an iron and just place it on it. And the other way, we'll go to the sewing machine to show how to do it. This is going to be another thing where direction is important, where you place it and where you sew it. So you'll be placing it with the line here, and you'll be stitching it just one thread to this side, and you'll be stitching it right down there. So we will stop now and go to the sewing machine. Okay, so ladies, we're back at the sewing machine. We're going to take a dark rectangle, and we're going to take a square that has the line on it and lay it on the rectangle like this. The line is going from here to here, and I'm going to put it under my sewing machine like this and go one thread to the inside of the, well, to the outside corner of the square. I'm using a different sewing machine today, so it's a little bit different for me. I know I try not to ever change sewing machines on a project. And that's one way of sewing the square on. So once you get it sewn on, it's going to look like this. And you will test it by folding it like this and seeing if your corners match. That way you know that you've sewn it correctly. If it doesn't, there's always the ripper. So I actually had to rip one out 3 times. It just wasn't working right. So once you get it folded like that and you know it's correct, you can cut this off at 1/4 inch. So then it was going to look like this at 1/4 inch. Now, this is where you want to make sure you pay attention on your pattern to the direction of the ironing. This seam needs to iron towards the rectangle, away from your light fabric towards your dark. So you're going to iron it towards the dark after you trim it off. So that's the first way of putting the triangle on. The second way, of course, is the folding. Using a folded one. Again, orientation. The fold goes at this corner and there. And I turn it this way so I can sew it. Yeah, come on. And get it started. And we're sewing right down one stitch towards the inside center. And I'm just going to chain. This is a perfect project to chain. Now, the third way of doing it is with the blue tape. This is my favorite way. I have the needle down, and there it is. Thank you, Tiffany. And so I'm going to lay the ruler not next to the needle. I'm going to lay it in front of the needle, because if you lay it next to it, your blue tape is going to be too far to the left. So I'm going to lay it where it's just barely over the needle. And then I'm going to use one of these straight lines. This is a straight line right here on this machine. So that one matches right there. So I know it's going to be straight. And my hand may get over it a little bit because I to get the tape on. Ah, here comes an extra finger. Thank you. Okay, so we do not want to put this over the feed dogs. So start it back enough that you're not over the feed dogs. There we go. And let's make sure that's straight. Doesn't help if it's not straight. And your blue tape works beautifully because it comes right off whenever you're ready to take it off, and you can retape it. I at home have actually a 1/4 inch line on mine, so if I want to line up a seam I can. I just drew it on. So now I've got my tape on. Now I'm going to take and lay this and one of my squares. Well, I don't like either of those. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to lay this on. Put this up underneath. 1 inch over on that side, and then I'm going to line it up on the bottom side right here. Just one thread to this side, and then I'm going to start sewing. And as long as I'm following that blue tape, it's going to be 1 stitch over. Okay, so that's the first batch. So you're going to have something that looks like this when you're done. And you're going to have 48 of them. So now we're going to go to the medium light and put them on. So let me cut these off. Yes, remember to iron them towards the rectangle. The little black arrow on your pattern is, Tiffany's been after that fly all day. He found me. He wanted to be on the video.
It's a tiny one.
He's a little guy. Let me trim this off. So now we're going to take, and I'm going to finger press it for right now. I would be ironing these, all 48 of them. Now I'm going to take my medium light and lay it on this.
Pause for a minute.
She missed him. I don't know.
Oh.
If he shows up in the video again, we'll know. Okay, so again, we are going to be sewing from this point to this point. So let's go ahead and just slide that on there. Okay, so there's the first one, and I can unstitch this. So then you're going to have one that looks like this. And you will check it by pressing it this direction. And these actually are going to stay pressed that direction. So all of your seams are going that direction on this one. Check it and trim it. And there you have today's blocks. Here's another one. These are all finished today's blocks. So that's what you will be putting in your bag E. And we will see you next month. Bye.